Have you ever told a lie, thinking it wouldn't matter? A small one, maybe, just to protect yourself or to make life a little easier. But what if that one lie changed everything? In a quiet Vietnamese village many years ago, people believed one thing above all: a man's word is his soul. Once broken, it can never be repaired. But one man didn't believe that. He thought honesty was for the weak, that clever lies could open more doors than truth ever could. He was young, ambitious, and wanted more than life could offer. And for a while, his lies did bring him wealth, admiration, even love. But what he didn't know was that every lie has a shadow, and sooner or later, the shadow comes to collect. So what happens when a man builds his entire life on deception? What happens when truth finally comes knocking at his door? Stay with me till the end, because this story might just change the way you see honesty forever. Long ago, in a small riverside village in old Vietnam, there lived a young man named Minh. His father sold tea by the riverbank, and every morning, Minh helped him pour tea for travelers. He grew up hearing his father say, "Son, honesty is a man's greatest wealth." But Minh never truly believed it. He saw how the world treated people like his father, honest, kind, but poor. He saw how men with silver tongues and clever lies always got ahead. And one night, he whispered to himself, "Maybe truth is for fools. Maybe lies are just another way to survive." As he grew older, Minh opened a small silk shop near the market. At first, he was polite, hardworking, honest, just like his father taught him. But the world tested him. One day, a rich merchant from the city came and laughed at Minh's cheap village silk. That night, Minh couldn't sleep. He looked at his plain shop and whispered, "If lies can bring respect, maybe I'll try it once." And so, he began to twist his words. He told customers his silk came from the capital. He said the dye was rare and royal. People believed him. The money poured in. And for the first time in his life, Minh felt powerful. But lies are like seeds. They grow in silence, and soon you forget where they were planted. One afternoon, a poor farmer arrived, thin, tired, his clothes worn. His daughter, fragile and pale, leaned weakly on his shoulder. They had nothing left except a small piece of land by the river. They begged Minh to buy it so they could afford medicine for the girl. Minh saw the chance. He smiled gently and said, "I'll help you, uncle. But the land isn't worth much now. Times are hard," and he paid them only half its value. The old man bowed, his voice trembling. "Thank you, sir. May heaven bless your kindness." Weeks later, Minh heard the news. The girl had died, and the old man had vanished by the river. That night, the wind howled through the village. Minh sat alone in his grand new shop, surrounded by gold, but feeling cold. He thought he heard a whisper in the wind. The truth always returns. He drank wine to silence the voice. He built more shops. He smiled at more people. And with every lie, his reputation grew. Years passed. Minh became one of the wealthiest men in the province. People bowed when he walked by, but inside, his heart was never still. Every time he heard rain on the rooftops, he thought of that river. He dreamed of the old man's eyes, not angry, not hateful, just disappointed. Then, one stormy night, fate returned. Thunder cracked, and a bolt of lightning struck his warehouse. In minutes, the fire spread like vengeance. Silk, gold, everything burned. Minh ran out, shouting for help. But the villagers, the same people he once deceived, stood silently in the rain, watching the fire consume everything. He fell to his knees, the the rain mixing with his tears. Through the flames, he saw a figure by the river, the old farmer standing still in the storm. Minh whispered, voice trembling, "I was wrong. I lied. And now the truth has come for me." The figure didn't move. It just faded into the rain, like forgiveness. By sunrise, all that remained were ashes. But in those ashes, something new was born. Minh gathered the few coins left, built a small tea stall by the river, the same place where his father once worked. He served tea to travelers, greeted everyone with a humble smile. No lies, no masks. And though his life was simple, he slept peacefully for the first time in years. Years passed. Minh grew old. The river that once took so much from him now flowed gently beside his tea stall. Every morning, he bowed to the sunrise and whispered, "Truth is the only wealth worth keeping." People came to him not to buy silk or gold, but to ask for advice, to sit, to listen. And Minh would pour them a cup of tea and say, "The tea is simple, but it's real. Just like life, it only tastes right when you stop adding lies to it." He had nothing compared to before. No big house, no servants, no fortune. Yet for the first time, he was truly rich. Because peace is something only honesty can buy. And in the evenings, when the sky turned gold, he'd sometimes see a shadow by the river. An old man smiling, his daughter by his side, not haunting, just watching, peacefully. In the end, life always brings us back to balance. Every lie is a debt, every truth is a seed. What we plant, we will someday eat. So before you speak, before you act, ask yourself, will this make my soul lighter or heavier? Because the truth might hurt for a moment, but a lie, it hurts forever. Honesty doesn't make life easier, it makes life clearer. And sometimes, that's all we really need. Be honest, even when no one is watching, because your soul always is.